Hello, friends. Okay, now we're up to chapter 9. 9 is just fine. Just kidding. Okay, so let's begin on the one. I tell you, I did this last time. Do you guys like to make noises like that too? I know when my kids were little, we used to do raspberries where we'd go on their stomach. They would giggle so very much. I loved it. Logan had first thought he'd just run it down with his bike, but he didn't have anywhere to put the flower. So the lollipop is what it was. Logan unraveled the shoelace and put the harness on and turned to Emily to clip her on. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you going to do with that? Emily stammered when she saw Logan with the carabiner. Remember, no questions. Do you want to get the orchid as fast as we can to the ceremony? He asked impatiently. And without letting her answer, he told her to go get her bike helmet on. And when she came running back with her helmet on, Logan explained how it was going to work. I'm going to clip you onto my harness with this clip thing. I'll have you get on my backpack style. That's supposed to be me. Okay. But first, I need to spray this special spray on you. It turns you invisible for a very short time. Once you're on my back, I'll spray myself. That way we don't get the cops called on us. Cops! Emily exclaimed. But before she knew it, Logan was spraying her with what looked like bug spray. And just like Logan said, she started to turn invisible. Cool, she cried and climbed on Logan's back. In no time, they were floating over the trees toward City Hall. Man, I wish I didn't agree to no questions, Emily grumbled to Logan. Logan just laughed. As they started to come down, Logan was coming up with a plan. When they landed, he quickly unhooked them and took out his x-ray glasses from his pants pockets. He looked at the building and saw inside. After looking in each room, he finally saw where the flower section was, in the back of the building. It looked like second and third place flowers were already set up on their podiums. Logan turned to Emily. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to spray myself again with the invisible spray and go put the orchid on the first place podium. I want you to go in and find your mom and aunt. Bring them to the back room so they will see the flower, okay? He rattled off. Yeah, go in and get my mom and aunt into the back room, she recounted to Logan. Great. Then Emily, you are going to explain what happened with the orchid. They will understand and just be happy to see the orchid again. Ugh. Okay. I know. But I'm thinking don't tell them about the lollipop balloon or the invisible spray, alright? She winked at Logan. Logan laughed. Yes, we don't want them to worry, Logan winked back. So, as Logan ran into the back of the building with the flower, Emily ran to the front of the building. As she was about to go through the doors, Porter came running up behind her. Hey, what are you doing here? He called to Emily. Porter, why did you take the orchid out of the playhouse? She asked in a very bossy tone. I was trying to help you out, Squirt. I saw the orchid on the table with the cracked pot, so I took it to Justin's. And we patched it up. But now we don't know where it went. Do you know? He replied just as bossy. Those two were two peas in a pod, all right. Not having enough time to explain to him, Emily just grabbed his hand and pulled him after her to find their mom. Yes, I do, and I will show you. But first, we need to go get Mom and Auntie and show them that the orchid is safe before they say anything to the judges. Emily blurted out as she ran through the crowd, dragging Porter behind her, which looks pretty funny since Porter was twice her size. Emily spots her mom and aunt and proceeds to beeline it right to them. Mom, Auntie, Emily calls out. Emily, what are you doing here? I thought you weren't coming, her mom wanted to know. I have something I need to tell you all. So if you could just follow me into the ceremony room, and with the other hand grabs her aunt's hand. When they get into the room, the first thing they see is the beautiful lady slipper orchid, looking splendid under the spotlight. And that is the end of chapter 9. Oh, phew. I'm so glad that Emily and Logan got the flower in time. Aren't you? But now she has to tell her aunt the truth. Will she get mad at her? Probably not. We all make mistakes, right? Okay, chapter 10. What in the world? How did you find it? Emily aunt asked. She ran up to it and inspected her flower. Well, she took a big gulp. You see, I wanted to show Emily Jr. how beautiful your flower was, Auntie, and Emily began. By the time she finished her story, minus the floating balloon or invisible spray, Emily had started to cry. I'm so sorry, Auntie. I didn't mean for this to happen, Emily sniffled. Oh, honey, it's just a flower. I wish you just came to me. We could have fixed it together. You know you can tell me anything, Emily's aunt, Miss Cindy, assured her. But there will be consequences for taking something without asking permission, young lady, Emily's mom interjected. Emily nodded her head up and down, acknowledging her mom's words. Then she gave her aunt and a mom a big hug. Well, it looks like we can stay and have some cake after all, Emily's aunt said, smiling. Just before they went back to the main room, Porter leaned down to Emily. Hey, by the way, how in the world did you get here so fast? Porter inquired, holding Emily back while their mom and auntie went back into the main room. Logan Scott helped me, she simply said, and then skipped away, leaving Porter scratching his head. When Logan came back out of the building, his phone started to ring. Hello? Logan answered. Logan, Agent Moon here. Were you able to handle the case all by yourself? Agent Moon asked. Yep, it's all good now. The orchid is not out of the competition. In fact, it is sitting at City Hall right now, Logan said proudly. Great. I knew you would get the job done, Agent Moon commended. Agent Stump should be pulling up now to pick you up. We will quickly go over the details and then get you back by dinner. Agent Moon finished and clicked off. As Logan rounded the corner of the building, he saw a black car pull up. Agent Stumps appeared as the front passenger side window rolled down. Good job. So who took it? He asked. Oh, it was just a case of a wildflower wandering off, but we resolved it, Logan replied. He wasn't sure how much trouble Emily would get into, so he decided to keep her out of it and not name her. At first, Agent Stumps looked confused, but then just shrugged his shoulders. Logan wondered with a worried look on his face. You're fortunate you didn't have to help us find Petunia, Agent Stumps said as he shivered. Me too. I hope Agent Moon got untangled, Logan wondered with a worried look on his face. Oh yeah, Petunia's a real sweetheart once you get to know her. She loved Agent Moon, Agent Stumps chuckled. Is she at the lab, Logan wanted to know. Nope, she's back home with her owner, a 90-year-old woman. Of all people. Now, let's get back so we can put this case in the files. What's for dinner this time? Agent Stumps asked as they pulled away from City Hall. Sylvia's chicken enchiladas. Logan said, getting hungry just thinking about it. He couldn't wait to get home and eat. That was a good story, huh? Did you guys like it too? Yeah, sometimes we make mistakes, take something that maybe not is ours, but always the right thing is to just give it back, say sorry, right? It was nice that her aunt forgave her, gave her a big hug. Okay, guys, well, I better go and get ready for dinner myself. What are you guys having? I don't know what we're gonna have. Maybe mac and cheese. See you later next time.